Yeah, so this is Shabashwan Bani Hawada. Of course, before I start anything, I say call Alhamdulillah, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Ha, Raka, Kwadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule and teach well. This will be Jeremiah 9. Talk about the first couple verses here. I read this the other day, and I was just like, wow, like this is a real, like wow, like it's a bunch of rebuke. Hold on. Yeah, so it's basically a bunch of rebuke scriptures and things like that, and of course those are always good to have and bring out, rebuking 2/3 and their wicked ways and things like that. Good to bring out, to kind of like newcomers and people that like, hey, like what's with our people, and then you could kind of explain certain things, go through the precepts. Jeremiah 9:1. Oh, that my head were waters and my eyes that fell into tears, that I might weep day and night for the slaying of the daughter of my people. All that I had in the wilderness, a lodging place of wayfaring men, that I might leave my people and go far from them, for they all be adulterers, an assembly of treacherous men, and they bend their tongues like bulls for lies, but they are not valiant for the truth upon the earth, for they proceed from evil to evil, and they know not me, saith the Lord. Yeah, people are so wicked. So if I could just get away, and he's saying these things to the prophet Jeremiah, that I could just get away from these people because they're just so wicked, and the thing is that it's the same, we have that same spirit, now I mean, you can get away from them, to a certain extent, you can move to a better neighborhood and things like that, but at the end of the day, you still get, jacked up and stuff like that, because we live under the curses. That's Deuteronomy 28, he that round about us shall get above thee very far, we shall be brought very low, they shall be the head and thou shalt be the tail. So we're not in our kingdom, the force of the Gentiles haven't been brought unto us yet. So that's pretty obvious. I don't think I need to say much more, right? They see here, right, they proceed from evil to evil, and they know not me, right? So you see here, they only go from bad to worse, they do not know me, and that makes me think of Romans, the first chapter, the Most High gave them into that base mind, it's that base mindset, like Jake goes from bad to worse. Jake just gets worse over time. Like nowadays, Jake is just like on a different level. Like I mean, and it's it's Esau. It's through Esau, man. Who's able to fund them and create a platform for them. On the internet and things like that. And giving them all these handouts and incentives, whatever, to be wicked, essentially. All alphabet stuff, right? Take heed every one of his neighbor, and trust not in any brother, for every brother will utterly supplant every neighbor who walk with slanders. And they will deceive everyone his neighbor and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies and worry themselves to commit iniquity, right? Obviously not talking about brothers in this truth, but our people, in the world, won't be trusting them and stuff like that because they're not right. They can't even get themselves right. They're all bugged out and they don't even know what they want to do. So, man, fuck them. Forget them. Like it says in 2 Corinthians, be not unequally yoked with unbelievers, because they wicked. They're very wicked. Not saying that we're perfect or that we're just like, like, oh, I'm just better than you. Hey, our righteousness is as filthy rags. This whole thing that we're a part of, this is all humility. It's not like, wow, man, I know all this stuff and I know more than you and I'm better than you and this and that. And nah, man, it's at the end of the day, we just want to get saved, man. I just want to get the hell out of here, man. You don't? All right, goodbye. Have fun living in a wicked society, a failed government. Have fun, pretty obvious, right? You know, thine habitation is in the midst of deceit. Do deceit, they refuse to know me, saith the Lord. Behold, thus saith the Lord of hosts. Behold, I will melt them and try them. For how shall I do for the daughter of my people? Right? See how I will melt them down in the crucible and test them like metal. What else can I do with my people? Right? And of course, the elect are going to be the ones that are going to make it out. And the ones that are left behind, like it talks about in 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, you know, and the ones that were not left behind will be those 2/3 getting destroyed. And of course, you wicked Israelites all over the place going to get destroyed. You wicked Israelites that are going to survive World War III, you're going to get destroyed too. You know, because, you know, the whole thing, you know, Yahushua said, you know, those that don't want to worship before me, you know, them shall you slay in my presence, you know, roughly paraphrasing. Right? Right. The tongue is as an arrow shot out. It speaketh deceit. One speaketh peaceably to his neighbor with his mouth, but in heart he layeth his weight. And that's what happens in the world. You know, all these women setting men up. You know, guys in the world setting each other up with the police and shit. It's all this, you know, all this wickedness, you know, and things all over the earth. Shall not visit them for these things, saith the Lord. Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? Right? And that's what's going to happen, man. The Lord is going to come back. He's going to visit our people for these things. Like it tells us in 2nd Esdras, I think, the 6th chapter, it tells us, you know, and there should be earthquakes and signs of the world. Then you should know at the very same time, wherein the highest will begin to visit the world, which he made. So he is going to come back. You know, he's going to bring, you know, destruction to this place. And, you know, obviously 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, and then, you know, Revelation, of course, you know, goes into that. Like Revelation, the 16th chapter, it tells us about, you know, the elect, you know, being saved, you know, watching the destruction of this place. So yeah, absolutely. You know, absolutely. And then, you know, you got to the stuff here. This is all going into, you know, them getting jacked up by the Babylonians. I almost said the Assyrians, but Judah didn't really get dragged away by the Assyrians like that. I know I read certain things where some of them were dragged away, but really didn't happen with the Assyrians. You know, it happened with the Babylonians. They took down Judah. You know, and that's pretty clear. And then they got took down after that, you know, by the Greeks, the Edomite Greeks, and then after that by the Romans, and then after that by the New Romans. And here we are now under the neo-Roman establishment, you know, so-called democracy, but it's really totalitarian. You know, Big Brother is real, man. You know, that's that book 1984. You know, it's really the same thing. It's the same exact thing. You know, but that's just the way Esau is. Even back in the scriptures, it tells you Esau had dukes and things like that. Esau always believed in, you know, stuff like that. You know, and the dukes and stuff. And they had dukes back when they were ruling before. You know, they would set up societies where they, you know, they have a ruling class and stuff like that. You know, which we had our own ruling class. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but, you know, Esau's lying about it. He says that everything's free and fair for everyone, and we're going to make a free society, and everyone's going to have freedom and democracy, and it's not really free at all, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to go into that real quick. Just wanted to go into those couple precepts, obviously, you know, going into all about, you know, Judah getting destroyed by the Babylonians, which is, you know, Jeremiah is pretty much about. You know, Isaiah is about a little bit of both, you know, and then, you know, that's pretty much it. I just want to go into it. I was reading through it the other day, and, you know, those first couple scriptures really caught my eye, and I wanted to go back into it. So I was a little edified.